James V, the father of Mary Stuart, had long since passed away. Mary of Guise was acting as regent for her daughter. Her daughter was in France. Mary of Guise stayed in Scotland and presided over Scotland with a French army. And all of that was taken away when Francis died. Francis II died, and Mary Stuart was a dowager at 18. And Catherine de' Medici said, out you go. And back she went to Scotland without the French army. I'm getting to the point. So this was very difficult. She was immediately confronted with John Knox. And John Knox was about 46. He was a fanatical anti-Catholic. He was a follower and student of John Calvin, the one who actually made the Reformation move forward, as I said last month. And he was, of course, a bitter foe of Mary of Guise while she was still in Scotland. And now he was a foe of Mary Stuart, her daughter. It was just a rote thing. He hated them all. They were Catholics. Well, Knox was working to turn Scotland into a theocratic presbytery. He wanted a church-state relationship there. And a year before her arrival, he had declared the Kirk, which is a Presbyterian state church, over all Scotland. He just declared this. He had a big following, so that's the way it went. Mary's arrival on the scene at the same time was just knocking his whole project galley west, and he resented the whole business. Well, he confronted her within 18 months. She took up residence in the Edinburgh Castle and her court and all of it. She brought a priest or two with her from France and her other courtiers from France that she'd known, people all her life, her ladies in waiting, the rest of it, all of whom were seen as foreigners by the Scots, or at least the people of Knox's ilk. And in that period of getting settled in and all, Knox was fuming. Well, finally, they confronted each other in church. Mary attended church, of course, and there was Knox in the pulpit screaming at her, "Whore of Babylon, this is the queen." All this terrible epithets and all this business right in front of the whole court and everybody. Well, Mary she was a French princess, so she never flickered an eyelash, but it hurt her deeply, and she didn't know what to do, how to get around this awful man, in her view, awful man. And she never pushed her religion in public. He had no reason to castigate her so, as he was doing, but she couldn't do anything to mollify him. She sought his cooperation about a year later. Knox was busy raising the Western Scots against her in rebellion. And she said to him, if you will stop raising this rebellion against our crown, we will see to it that we will administer laws proscribing Catholics. That didn't mean you outlawed Catholics. That meant that the display of Catholicism would be removed from the public's view. The churches would be governed as Knox wanted them. People who were Catholic and devout would worship in their own homes as they wished. That was Mary's deal. Well, he wouldn't go for it. He absolutely refused. It didn't matter what she did. It didn't matter what she did. He wanted her out. He wanted her knocked over. And he rejected, of course, this conciliatory action.